Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we have another update on our GP3. If you've been following the channel, you would have seen that we were very happy with the way this car handled on the track. It was absolutely epic, but on the road it has its flaws. It's so set up for the track that it doesn't really handle B roads really well, and I really want to enjoy this car on B roads. So I've actually forgotten what this car drives like standard, so I've recruited my friend Ped. And you borrowed a GP3?
I have. Mini UK have very kindly given me this completely stock GP3, number 25.
And you've driven this car on the track, but you haven't driven it on the road that much.
No, apart from this week.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive Mini guy, but it's very compromised on the road.
Yeah, so that's what we try to address with this car. So what we've done is we've fitted a set of 18-inch forged wheels with Michelin Pilot 4S's, so we've got rid of the Hancocks.
Yeah.
We've got Bilstein Club Sport suspension, which is height adjustable, damping, rebound adjustable, and it also has adjustable camber plates at the front. And what that's allowed us to do is basically correct the camber so it's more suited to the road. The reason why it's so good on track is the camber is very aggressively negative, so it has really good turning. And you can probably
you can see the difference with the cars parked next to each other. It's amazing.
Yeah, and we've also got Super Sprint exhaust and the Venturi intake, which you also have.
I do have that on
your car, just to give it a little bit of extra noise. So we haven't actually tuned this for any extra power, because for B road use I don't think it needs any.
It's not something I didn't get in this car and go, I wish it had more power.
It's pokey.
It's very, very quick, very pokey.
Okay, so let's jump in the cars and we can exchange views.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. So we're just going on a particularly bumpy B road, you may notice from some of our videos before. Pete, how are you finding the GP3? You've had it for about a week?
Yeah, mate, it's a mega car. It's incredibly quick. However, it's when it gets on a road like this that for me it starts to let itself down a little bit. I mean, I am used to a pretty bumpy Mini. I've got my Roadster, which is firm. My Clubman's actually quite soft, but this, it gets unsettled quite easily.
Yeah, that's what I found with our standard one as well. As good as it is for the track, on the road I think it's very compromised,
especially down here. I mean, it's skipping a lot, and that's before you even get on throttle. So even just when you're kind of in a fairly neutral throttle and driving along, it does skip around a lot.
Yeah, and I will say this road is particularly taxing. It's not smooth at all, so it really does show up those kind of flaws.
But it's a typical British B road, right? It's nothing unusual. They're all like this.
Yeah.
but for me though, where you see, that's really bumpy. Wow. When you accelerate, this car's got so much power. 306 horsepower, front wheel drive. The challenge for me is it just tugs away at the steering wheel through a combination of torque steer and tram lining, and that at times can be very, very unnerving. And it's normally when you're trying to overtake something and it starts to pull you either into the other side of the road, the car you're overtaking, or into the wildlife, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and that's one thing you don't need when you want to go for a B road blast. You need to overtake some slow moving traffic, is when you pull out and put your foot on the accelerator. You don't need to be guessing which direction the car's going in. You want it just to go where you think it's going to go.
I mean, out the corner, it's a devastatingly quick car, but I just think it's so track focused and so track oriented. The geometry is, I don't know, I'm guessing it's been designed for a nice smooth racetrack, not a bumpy B road.
It has. So I've driven the car on the track and it actually makes a lot of sense, but the geometry is set up for track work. So what we've done with this car is we've tried to dial that out for road use. So we've made the damping slightly softer and we've made the camber less aggressive. So I think the real test is for you to jump in this now and go for a drive and see how it is. So let's
that sounds like a good plan. Should we swap cars?
Okay. Yep, let's do it. Well, I'm going to need to do some seat adjusting here.
Just a bit.
Get some stilts.
Have you got legs?
Just about.
There you go. The other thing is, I quite like the steering wheel up really nice and close to me, so I always pull it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, I'm good to go. Are you leading?
Yeah, I can. Let's go. I haven't driven a standard one of these for a while.
I've been so looking forward to driving this car. I've been obviously seen pictures on Instagram and talked to you a lot. The other thing, this is on Pilot Sport 4S's as well, right? Instead of the hand
yeah,
grips
we forgot to mention that. Yeah, so
that
the
were
hand
designed
hooks,
for it.
yeah, so I took the hand hooks off yesterday actually, so those tyres have only been on for like 24 hours. Oh, I can feel straight away. It's so nervous even on part throttle.
Oh mate, so two things. Number one, the exhaust sounds so much better. But even at super low speeds, it's just got that softer compliance.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, this is all over the place. I didn't really realise it was that bad. I'm having to make corrections all the time.
So, instantly this one, it's still a firm car, but it's not tugging at the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's dealing with the power on throttle.
Yeah, that's a lot to do with the way the camber has been set up. And I will say, this first time I drove my car with the 4S's was yesterday, and I noticed a huge difference over the hand hooks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive 4S fan. I've got them on my Clubman JCW, and you really do feel them. And you know, I've not even done a mile yet, and it feels better. Yeah. It's still a firmly set up car, and I want that in a Mini. I want a Mini to fight me a little bit and to be firmly set up, but I don't want it to be so much that it kind of puts me off pushing on, that I start feeling nervous about what the car's going to do.
Yeah. And it's really interesting for me to drive these back to back now, because I was slightly concerned about what you would think about our one, because compared to the Yaris, it's still not a great B-road car. But now driving the standard one, I can feel how much more nervous it is on this road compared to our one with the Bilstein Club Sport setup.
Yeah, I just think what you've done is you've dialed in all the things I want in a B-road car. So it's still pointy and squirty, but it's not tugging at the steering wheel. The thing that puts me off with the GP3 in standard format is it really is. I mean, we talk about torque steer a lot in front wheel drive cars, but in that it's you really have to hang on, otherwise I get the feeling you're going to lose control of the car.
Yeah, it really does feel like that horse who's bolted and you're literally just hanging onto the reins trying to stay on.
I thought the other day, it's like riding a tiger and sticking a firework up its bum. You know?
That's a really good analogy, actually.
You know, I don't want to be too hard on it, because you know it's meant to be the ultimate form of a Mini. I just feel like the engineers have made it, you know, developed it on the Nordschleife and made it go round tracks really well, and I don't think those guys have ever been down a road like this.
I don't think they did during the development, but I want to make this clear as well. I do understand that this car is designed as a track car. I understand it's not designed for what we're using it for now, but let's be honest, I bought that car, I thought I might do a few track days in it. I did do one track day, but I do like majority of my driving on these kind of roads. Realistically, I don't understand why the car can't do both. And I think that's what we've now set it up to do, because we can then adjust the camber settings back to the GP3 stock settings, or even more aggressive if we want for the track. So we've got the best of both worlds now.
Yeah, I mean what you've done in this, it's a bit like with my Roadster. I had a fast road setup from Lowen done on it because I had the BC Racing coilovers, and just a simple thing like getting a different setup, different camber, different toe, change the car completely, change its characteristics. And what you've done in this, you've just dialed out some of that over pointiness, and just it's still pointy. I mean, if a non-Mini person got in this, they still think, blimey, this car's sharp, but it's not so sharp you're going to cut yourself.
Yeah, and let's be honest here, both myself and yourself, we're Mini fans. I've had Minis all the way from R56s, so I want to love this car. I really do want to love it. I've got no like desire to try and pan it, as you know, at all. But it is just it's a track car. If you're buying it as that, that's fine. But if you want to use it for something else, it does need a bit of work.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there'll be some people getting it and it's fine for them completely, because maybe, I guess the other thing for us is we drive such a wide breadth and depth of cars, you start to kind of look for things that are beyond what you're just getting straight out the box, because you've experienced that in something else. But what you've done with this, I've got to say though, the ride quality just from the tyres as well, you can really feel that. But I've got to say, this exhaust sounds good as well. I know manufacturers can't really do much about exhaust because of all the regulations nowadays, but this just sounds so much better.
Yeah, so the exhaust is OPF back, so it's downpipe back. So you would either need to run a OPF delete, like sort of can canceller, or tune your ECU to get rid of the check engine light that comes on, much like when you do a decat. But yeah, it doesn't sound too bad for an OPF car, to be fair, but it just needs that little bit more personality, I think.
Yeah. See, I can see your car moving round a lot from behind.
Yeah.
I think the tyres are making a big difference as well. But
so, what do you think of the tyres? Can you tell a difference between the two tyres?
It's super difficult unless you really push on. I just think the ride quality is just that little bit better.
So, Pete, it's been really cool having you down here. How have you enjoyed the modified Mini to make it tamer than the real thing? I've never done that. I've never had to take a car and make it tamer. We normally make it
I was going to say, it must be very counterintuitive, because you know. Really interesting, because I had one of these on order, as you know, and I cancelled it and bought the Clubman, and there's a big part of me going, have I made the mistake? I've driven one on track and they're amazing on track. So this week's been the first time I've really had a chance to experience on a B road.
Yep.
And it's just so track focused. It's just, for me, compromised on a B road. But what you've done with this is pair all the bits that make it unhandleable back and just make it a B road weapon.
Yeah.
It's still a handful.
Yeah, very much so.
It's 300 horsepower in a front wheel drive car. But what I love, what you've done is you've kept all the Mini stuff as well. We're both big Mini guys, right? Yep. I love that pointy, darty nature of a Mini, but that in standard form is just too much for me.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this is designed solely as a track car. And when I bought it, I did think I was going to do more than one track day. I did one track day, but let's be honest, most of the time you want to go out on a Sunday morning, I do anyway, and go for a blast. And in my Cooper S, that was the car. Even at work, people would like have any excuse to take that car out and drive it because it just put a smile on your face. Yeah. And with this one, it's just, you're literally on edge all the time trying to keep it on the road. And the idea behind this was to try and make it much more manageable on the road. And I think with the combination of the Bilstein Club Sport suspension that gave us the adjustability on the camber, then the adjustability on the damping, centre of gravity, we're able to set it up exactly how I wanted it. Yeah. And we're not far off JCW road specs with this in terms of the suspension setup. And then, yeah, we've just switched over the tyres to Michelin Pilot 4S's, which we run on all of our other cars. And that's then given me that much more improvement.
Yeah, because there's multiple things you've done on this that I think the suspension is just, if you're just going to do one thing, that's it. And it makes such a difference. I think we said in the cars, the setup of a car is so important.
Yeah, and it's something that's very much overlooked. Even getting your standard suspension set up, sorted out, can be a lot better than throwing loads of money at a suspension kit. And this suspension kit's not cheap, it's around $3,000, but if you just threw that on and didn't get it set up properly, you're not doing the right thing.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because often manufacturers will set cars up to make them safe and dull in terms of suspension. It almost feels like that one, they've kind of done it the other way, and they've made it, you know, almost, I don't know whether it is dangerous, it just feels sometimes like you're either going to be pulled into the opposite carriageway, into a ditch, or the worst case is when you're overtaking something and you get that tug because you're on throttle, and that's not nice. But we've dialed that out of this. The exhaust makes a big difference, and the intake. I mean, I've got one of these on my Clubman and I love it to bits.
It just adds that bit more personality, doesn't it? Yeah. Makes it more Mini in a way, just like Mini should be like a bit raucous. And I think what they've done with this is that's got the Mini exterior, but I think when you come to the way it drives, it's very unlike any other Mini I've driven.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to have a downer on that out the box as a car, because on track, like I said, we've both driven it on track and it's phenomenal on track.
Yeah, look, we had the car, it was brand new, 500 miles, took it to the track, didn't change the tyres, didn't change the brakes, didn't do a single change to the car. And I was at Landau, I was going around all day.
Yeah.
And it was fine, didn't get a brake fade, didn't get anything. So yeah, as a full on track car, it is a weapon. But it's nice to have that duality now, which we have with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, mate.
Thank you very much. So Pete, so if people like the content that you've made with us, where can they find you?
Just search Petrol Ped on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook. I've got a little bit of footage I've taken from this today, because I'm going to put this, or actually that one, I might want to take this one home though.
Okay, you can borrow it if you want, it's no problem.
I'm going to put that up against my other two Minis, my Roadster and my Clubman.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
And then just compare and contrast and drop some footage I've taken of this, because it's a very different car to drive.
Okay,
but yeah,
cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I will drop the link to Ped's socials in the description below, so please do go and follow him. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to join the conversation, please drop a comment below and we'll try our best to respond to you. If you want to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you want to watch what YouTube thinks you might like from our other content, you can do so over here.